ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शांति शांति शांतिः. Namaskar my dear friends, this is fourth video on Swami Ramsukhdasji Maharaj Sadhana Sadhak Sanjivani. This video starts with verse number 3 of chapter number 1 of Bhagavad Gita. Duryodhana, approaching Drona, speaks the following words. Pasyaitam Pandu Putranam Acharye Mahatim Chamum Vyudhyam Drupad Putren Tav Shishen Dhimata. Behold, O Master, this mighty army of the sons of Pandu, arrayed for battle by your talented pupil Drashtadyumna, the son of Drupada. Acharya, by addressing Drona as Acharya, it seems that Duryodhana means to say that he is the preceptor who taught the Kauravas and the Pandavas the science of warfare, so he should not be partial to either of the groups. Tava Sisena Dhimata. By this phrase, Duryodhana means that Drona is so simple-hearted that he has taught the science of warfare to Drishtadyumna, Drupad's son, who is born to kill him, Drona, and who is so clever that he is determined to vanquish and kill none other than his own preceptor. Drupada Putrayana. It means that Drupada, with the motive of getting your honor killed, got a holy sacrifice performed by the two Brahmanas, men of the priest class named Yaja and Upyaja, and thus Drishtadyumna was born. The same Drishtadyumna was standing before him as commander of the rival army. Though Duryodhana could speak the word Drishtadyumna instead of Drupadputra, the son of Drupada, yet he intentionally used Drupadputrayana to remind Dronacharya of the enmity that Drupada had with him, so he really meant that it was a good opportunity to take a revenge. Pandu Putranam Etam Vyudham Mahatmim Kem Pasya. Behold, the mighty army of the Pandavas, arrayed for battle by the son of Drupada. It means that Duryodhana wants to say, O Master, the Pandavas whom you love have made the son of Drupada the general of their army so that he may kill you. Had they loved you, they would never have appointed him as a general. Though the army of the Kauravas was larger than that of the Pandavas, the army of the Kauravas was 11 exohini, while that of the Pandavas was only 7 exohini. Yet the army of the Pandavas was seemed to Duryodhana larger than what it actually was. The army of the Pandavas seemed more formidable to Duryodhana because, number one, it was arrayed in such a manner that even a small army seemed larger to Duryodhana. Number two, all the warriors of the Pandavas' army were united and one mind, so it seemed greater in strength and enthusiasm. Drawing Drona's attention to the army of the Pandavas, Duryodhana wants to say to Dronacharya that he should not regard the army of the rival group as ordinary small. He should fight with all his might, and it would not be difficult for him to defeat the son of Drupada because he was his pupil. Etam Pasya means that the army of the Pandavas is arrayed for the battle, so you should take a quick decision both to get victory over them. After requesting Dronacharya to behold the army of the Pandavas, Duryodhana shows him the chariot warriors of the army of the Pandavas. One Akshauhini army consists of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses, and 1,09,350 foot soldiers. Verse number 4. Attar Shura Mahevasa Bhimarjun Samayudhi Yuyudhanu Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Stanza number 5. Dhrishtaketusche Kasirajasya Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojasya Saibascha Narpungav. Stanza number 6. Yudha Yudhamanyuscha Vikrant Uttamojascha Viryavan Sobhadro Drupadyascha Srav Evam Maharatha. There in the army of the Pandavas are mighty archers, peers in warfare like heroic Arjuna and Bhima, such as Satyaki and Virata and the great chariot warrior Drupada, Drashtaketu, Chekitana, the valiant king of Kasi, Purojit, Kunti Bhoj, and Sahiba, the best of men, are also there. Mighty Yudmanyu, valiant Uttamanja, Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra, and the 5 sons of Draupadi are also there. All of them are great chariot warriors. Atrasuri Maheswa Bhimarjuna Yuddhi, those who possess large bows and shoot with bows and arrows are called Maheswasa, the mighty archers. They are very valiant and extraordinary warriors. In warfare, they are as strong as Bhima, and in the use of weapons and missiles such as bows and arrows, etc., as good as Arjuna. Yuyudhana Satyaki learned the science of warfare from Arjuna. Thus he was obliged to him that he did not go to the side of Duryodhana, even though Lord Krishna had given Duryodhana his Narayani army in order to arouse malice in the mind of Dronacharya. Duryodhana first of all mentions the name of Yuyudhana, the disciple to Arjuna. He means to say, you have taught Arjuna archery and granted him the boon that you would try, that he would be a matchless archer in this world. Thus you have so much love for him, but he is so ungrateful that he is arrayed in the army against you, while Arjuna's disciple Yuyudhana is arrayed on his side. Yuyudhana was not killed in the warfare, but in a mutual fight among the Yadavas. Viratascha. Duryodhana says it was Virata who was responsible for insulting the warrior Susarma. Again, it was because of him that you became unconscious with the Sammohana beguiling weapon and had to flee from the battlefield, leaving behind his cows. The same King Virata is opposing you. Dronacharya had no enmity or malice against King Virata, but Duryodhana thinks that if he names Drupada after Yudhana, Dronacharya may think that Duryodhana is instigating him to fight against the Pandavas and he is arousing feelings of enmity with them. So Duryodhana names Virata before Drupada so that Dronacharya may not see through his trick and may fight bravely. King Virata and his three sons named Uttra, Sveta, Sankha were killed in the war of Mahabharata. Drupadascha Maharallaha. Duryodhana says, "You reminded Drupadas of your old friendship, but he insulted you in the assembly, saying that he was a king and you a beggar, and thus there was no question of any friendship between him and you, and begat a son who would kill you. The same great chariot warrior named Drupada is arrayed to fight against you." King Drupada was killed in the warfare by Dronacharya. Drashtaketu. How foolish this Drashtaketu is, that he is fighting on the side of Sri Krishna, who killed his father Shishupala with a disc in the assembly. Drishtaketu was killed by Dronacharya. Chekitanaha. The entire Yadava army is ready to fight on our side, but that solitary Yadavas is fighting on the side of Pandavas. Chekitana was killed by Duryodhana. Kasi Rajascha Viravan. This king of Kasi is very valiant, a great chariot warrior, and is fighting on the side of the Pandavas. So be careful, as you have a very formidable foe to deal with. The king of Kasi was killed in the battle of Mahabharata. Purujit Kunti Bhojascha. Though both Purujit and Kunti Bhoja, being Kunti's brothers, are maternal uncles to us and the Pandavas, yet being partial, they are arrayed to fight against us. Purujit and Kunti Bhoja both were killed at the hands of Dronacharya. Saibascha Narapungvaha. Saibaya is the father-in-law to Yudhishthira. He is noble and very powerful. He is also our relative, but he is on the side of Pandavas. Yudhamanyuscha Vikranta Uttam Ajascha Viravan. Yudhamanyu and Uttamnoja, who are very strong and valiant warriors of Panchala country, have been assigned the task of protecting the wheels of my enemy Arjuna's chariot, so keep an eye on them. Yudhamanyu and Uttam Oja were slain in their sleep by Ashwasthama. Subhadra, he is Abhimanyu, the son to Krishna's sister named Subhadra. He is very brave. He learned the art of piercing an array of soldiers, standing in the form of a circle while he was in his mother's womb, so beware of him. Abhimanyu was killed by Dusasana's son when he unjustly hit him with a mace on the head. Draupadi gave birth to 5 sons named Prativindhya, Sutasoma, Srutakarma, Satanika, and Srutasena, respectively, from Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. Watch her 5 sons carefully. She openly insulted me in the assembly, so avenge that insult by killing her 5 sons. Ashwasthama killed the 5 sons while they were asleep at night. Sarva eva Maharvaha Maharatha. All of them are great chariot warriors. They are well versed in the scripture and in the use of arms. A great chariot warrior is one who can manage 10,000 archers. There is a large number of such great chariot warriors in the army of the Pandavas. Duryodhana described valor, bravery, and skill of the army of Pandavas in warfare so that hatred might be aroused in Dronacharya against the Pandavas, and he might be full of greater zeal. But then a second thought came to his mind that Drona was at heart partial to the Pandavas, so he might make a peace treaty with the Pandavas. As soon as this thought came to his mind, he described the heroes of his side who were very well trained in warfare in the next three verses. Verse number 7. अस्माकं तु विशिष्टा ये तानि बोधदिवचोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य सज्जार्थे ताम्रविमि ते O best of the twice born Brahmana, know the principal warriors, the general of my army also. I name them for your information. अस्माकं in Vishishta ye tanni bodha divijatma. Duryodhana says to Dronacharya, O best of the twice born, you should know that in our army also there are great chariot warriors who are in no way less valiant and less trained in warfare, rather they are more valiant and better trained. In the third verse, Pasha and here Nibodha verbs are used because the army of the Pandavas is standing in front of them. Therefore, Duryodhana uses the verb Pasha, behold, but the army of Kauravas is not in front of Dronacharya, it is on the side of his back, so Duryodhana uses the verb Nibodha, no. न्याय की ममा सलियंसा संजार्थिम तन te. Mention the names of the chief generals, marshals, and great chariot warriors of my army to draw your attention to them. Sanjanatham means that there are innumerable generals who cannot be named easily. Therefore, I am just drawing your attention as you know all of them. In this verse, Duryodhana probably wants to say that his side is in no way weaker than that of the Pandavas, but is rather stronger. Yet, according to political prudence, however weak the army of an enemy may be, it should not be regarded as weak. Therefore, one should not have in the least a feeling of neglect and indifference towards the enemy. So, Duryodhana already described the warriors of the other side to make Drona careful and how he is giving the names of warriors of his army. Secondly, after seeing the army of the Pandavas compact and well disciplined, Duryodhana was overawed and also somewhat afraid. The reason was that in spite of being smaller, there were several righteous persons and as also Lord Krishna himself in that army. Righteous persons and God bear their influence on all the creatures, including those having the most sinful conduct, and even on animals, birds, trees, and plants. The reason is that God and righteousness are eternal, while all the temporal powers are transient. Therefore, Duryodhana is also influenced by the army of the Pandavas, but because of the material and temporal power, he wants to assume Dronacharya that their army is superior to that of the Pandavas. Therefore, they can easily gain victory over the army of the Pandavas. Verse number 8. भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सोमदत्तिस्तथैव च yourself, Bhishma, Karna, and Kripa, ever victorious in battle, and Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and Somadatti, Bhurisarva, the son of Somadatta. You and Bhishma both are unique, so if you fight with your full vigor, neither the gods, genies, devils, nor men can encounter you. Both of you are famous for your valor throughout the world. Bhishma has been a celibate since birth and he cannot be killed without his own will. In the Mahabharata, Dronacharya was killed by Drishtadyumna while Bhishma died during summer solstice of his own free will. Karna is very brave. I believe that he by himself can gain a victory over the army of the Pandavas. Even Arjuna is no match for him. Such a valiant warrior is standing on our side. Karna was killed by Arjuna in the war of Mahabharata. Kripascha Samitanjaha. Kripa is immortal, he is our well-wisher and can gain victory over the whole army of the Pandavas. Though Duryodhana, after mentioning the names of Dronacharya and Bhishma, should have named Kripacharya, yet Duryodhana had more faith in Karna than in Kripacharya, so Karna's name was spontaneously uttered by him. But he wanted to please Dronacharya and Bhishma by calling Kripacharya as ever victorious in battle, lest they should regard it as an insult to Kripacharya. Ashwatthama, he is also immortal, being your son, he is very valiant, he is well versed in the science of warfare as he has learnt it from you. Vikarnascha Somadatta Thevacha. You should not think that only the Pandavas are righteous. On our side, my brother Vikarna is also very righteous and brave. Similarly, Bhuriswarva, the grandson of our great grandfather's brother Bahalika and the son of Somadatta, is also very righteous. He has also performed several holy sacrifices by offering great gifts. He is also a very brave and great chariot warrior. In the warfare, Vikarna was killed by Bhima and Bhuri Sarva was killed by Satyaki. Here, by mentioning these names, Duryodhana means to say, O Preceptor Acharya, in our army there are so many valiant warriors such as you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripacharya, etc. While in the army of the Pandavas such valiant warriors are not seen. In our army, great warriors named Kripacharya and Ashwatthama are immortal, while in the army of the Pandavas there is none. Moreover, in our army there is no scarcity of righteous persons, therefore we need not be afraid of them. Stanza number 9. अन्ये च बहवः सुरा मदर्थे त्यक्त जीवितः नाना शस्त्र पर हरना सर्वे युद्ध विशारदः. And there are many other heroes well trained in warfare who, equipped with various weapons and missiles, have staked their lives for my sake. Annecha Bahavaha Sura Madartha Pyakti Jivataha. Beside the above-mentioned heroes, there are many great chariot warriors such as Bahalika, Salya, Bhagyadatta, Jayadartha, etc. in our army who have come here to fight by staking their lives for me. They may be killed in the war, but they will not run away from the battlefield. How should I express my hearty thankfulness to them before you? Nansastra praharna sarve yuddha visarda. All these heroes are experts in the use of weapons such as swords, maces, tridents, and missiles such as arrows and javelins, etc. They are in every way experts in the science of warfare. When Duryodhana by his cleverness could not deceive Dronacharya, who did not say anything, he had a second thought. This thought is described by Sanjay in the next verse number 10. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhisham bhirakshitam paryaptam Tivides tesam balam bhima bhirakshitam. Our army is inadequate and is easier to be conquered as it is protected by Bhishma, a well-wisher of both the armies, but their army, marshaled by Bhima, is unconquerable because Bhima guards it well. Aparyaptam Tadamakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam. Duryodhana thinks about his army because of unrighteousness and injustice. Duryodhana is afraid that our army, though larger than that of the Pandavas, is easier to be conquered because our army is unwieldy, indisciplined, disunited and faint-hearted, while the army of the Pandavas is compact, disciplined, united and fearless. The chief protector of our army is Bhishma, who is friendly to both the armies. He is a great devotee of Krishna. He in his heart has great respect for Yudhishthira and love for Arjuna. Therefore, though outwardly he is on our side, yet at heart he is well wisher of Pandavas. He is the field marshal of our army. Under these circumstances, how can our army gain victory over the Pandavas? Paryaptam tavidmesam balam bhim bhirakritam. But this army of the Pandavas can be victorious over our army very easily because all the warriors of their army are united without having any difference of opinions. The protector of their army is Bhima, who is brave and who has always defeated me since childhood. He has taken a pledge to kill all the 100 brothers, including me. He is bent on destroying us. His body is as strong and hard as an adamant. I poisoned him, but it did not kill him. Having such a protector as Bhima, the army of Pandavas is certainly capable of gaining victory over our army. Here a doubt may arise that Duryodhana named Bhishma, who was their field marshal in defense of their army, but he named Bhima, who was not a field marshal in defense of the army of the Pandavas. The answer is that at that time Duryodhana was not thinking about the field marshal but about the strength of the two armies. Duryodhana was very much influenced by Bhima's power, so he named Bhima as the protector of the army of the Pandavas. An important matter. Arjuna, beholding the army of the Kauravas, raises his bow, while Duryodhana, seeing the army of the Pandavas, approaches Dronacharya and requests him to watch the army of Pandavas arrayed for battle. It proves that Duryodhana's mind has been by fear struck, though afraid. Yet with his cleverness he wants to please Dronacharya and instigate him against the Pandavas. The reason is that in Duryodhana's heart there are unrighteousness, injustice and sin, and it is a rule that an unrighteous, unjust and sinful person cannot live happily and peacefully. On the other hand, in Arjuna's heart there are righteousness and justice, so he does not play any trick and have any fear to serve his self-interest. He is fearless, courageous and brave. That is why he orders Lord Krishna, "O Krishna, place my chariot between the two armies." It means that a person who depends on perishable riches and property, etc., and whose heart is full of unrighteousness, injustice, and ill feeling, does not possess real power. He is hollow from within and is never fearless. On the other hand, one who depends on God and follows righteousness is never fearful. His power is real and he always remains free from cares and fears. Therefore, strivers who aspire for God realization should perform their duty by depending only on God and for His sake renounce unrighteousness and injustice, etc. They should never follow the path of unrighteousness by attaching importance to material prosperity and contact-born pleasures, because these two lead men to damnation rather than to peace. Appendix. Arjuna, instead of accepting the Lord's Narayani army well equipped with arms and ammunition, accepted unarmed Lord Krishna, while Duryodhana, in place of Lord Krishna, accepted his Narayani army. It means that Arjuna had an eye on Lord Krishna while Duryodhana had an eye on his stately power. The heart of the person who has an eye on God is strong because God's strength is real, but the heart of the person who has an eye on worldly power is weak, as the strength of the world is unreal. Now Duryodhana, to please Bhishma, instructs all the great chariot warriors of the army and says this. Now I stop this video here, and next video will start with stanza number 11. Namaskar my dear friends. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar.